So the next thing I want to show you is how to calculate the estimated width, and this is kind of an important field. I'll use it for other things as well, but the estimated width of the bridge will determine what I'm going to create. Is I'm going to create a buffer of these station lines, and it will generate a file that looks similar to, this is one that I've already segmented, and if I go to this one of this areas that have already been segmented, I can kind of show you what I'm let's see. So bringing in an older project, this is what we're trying to do. These buffer segments for analysis, this is what we're going to use to extract out the elevation value. And the reason why this is smaller than the actual bridge is because if we use the entire bridge to do the majority value within there, it can pick up some things that we don't want. So we've doing it down the center line of the road to make sure that we get the majority elevation value within the smaller area, and that will eliminate the possibility of getting values on these ends that will, especially if this goes over water, it will throw it all off. So nevertheless, we're trying to make a subset of smaller area that we use for the actual analysis of that we compare it against the DTM or the DSM as a smaller subset. So in order to create, this is what I'm going to show you, is how to create this kind of smaller subset, which I call them the bridge buffers from the older project. And that's what we're trying to achieve. We call them bridge buffers, and that's how I name these things, so that when we segment it, we're going to actually segment both the polygons and the bridge segments, but we have to first we're going to first segment the larger file, and then we'll work on this one. And this will all make sense once I get into it. But the width of the bridge buffer, or the buffer segment for analysis, is dependent upon the size of the bridge. So if I turn back on this one, you see this width is smaller, so this had a smaller buffer than this one as far as the distance goes. So I'm going to turn some of this stuff off here. Let's get into here, and let's go ahead, and we're going to generate the estimated width to create these buffer segments for analysis off of this main one. I need to turn this off though, it can get confusing. So in the Chicago Bridge, I need to remove some of these things again so I don't get confused. So in the Chicago Bridge polygon file, I need you to add a field. I'm going to call this estimated width, and we're going to estimate the width of this bridge so that we could figure out, does this get a buffer value of, see what that value is. All width values below 8 meters will give a buffer value of 1. All values above 8 will get a value of 2. So that's what, when I showed you that example, those bridge buffers, the smaller one was a smaller width. It must have been under 8 meters in the estimated width, so it was assigned a buffer distance of 1, as opposed to the other one, which was thicker, received a buffer distance of 2. And the buffer distance will be what we'll use to create the buffers, and that's going to be derived from the centerline file. But first thing we have to do is calculate the estimated width. So to do that, estimated width, make it a double. Now what we need to do is we need to join the centerline table to the polygon table so I could calculate the estimated width. Well, how am I going to calculate it? I'm going to calculate it by the centerline length, shape length, and divide that by the shape area of the polygon. So first thing is to join this by bridge ID. Everything's joined by bridge ID for the most part. And then we want make sure you join the right one. You want the Chicago Bridge center lines, bridge ID, and keep all records. And now we have this shape length of the centerline file. We have the shape area of the polygon file on this side. That's how we're going to determine the estimated width. And that's a simple calculation of just the shape area of the polygon divided by the shape length of the center lines. So we have this estimate width. Now you can remove the join. Okay. And then on this one, the centerline file that we're working with, the main centerline file, add a field. This will be a short integer, and we'll call this one buff distance, short integer. Now we're going to join the polygon file to the centerline file using the bridge ID and do a query on this estimated width. Anything less than 8 on the width gets a 1, value of 1. Anything greater than 8 gets a value of 2. So again, here's the table open. I'm going to join this to, let me make sure there's no joins here actually. Okay, no joins. So we're going to join the center line by bridge ID to the bridge polygons, bridge ID, keep all records. So now we have this with the estimated width. It's tied to this. That's how we're going to calculate this buffer distance. So it's just a simple select by attribute. And we want to do the center line because we have that join. And we want this estimated width to be less than 8. And now we just go to the selected records, and you'll see most of those are going to be footways and footpaths. You won't see a lot of major highways, if any, which should be a buffer distance of 1, because I just did the query of anything less than 8 would receive a buffer distance of 1 meter. So I'm going to calculate the buffer distance field in the center line as it's joined as 1 because I just queried that, anything less than 8. And now, if you switch to selection, you'll see that the estimated width that on the selected, if you sort of ascending, nothing's going to be lower than 8. And then we go back over to here to where the buffer distance is. And this will be a 2. So now we should have, if we remove the joins, we should have everything populated here in the buffer distance as either a 1 or a 2. So these smaller bridges will get smaller segments, the wider bridges will get bigger segments. So now what we have to do is create the buffers of these center lines based off of this buffer distance. So what we'll do is we'll buffer these in ARC and use the buffer analysis tool. And we're going to buffer the bridge center lines. Let's make sure there's no join here again. Sorry, okay, there isn't. So let's go ahead and buffer this again on the search for buffer analysis. We want the bridge center lines. Make sure nothing's selected too. Okay, so it doesn't just buffer out the selected ones. Bridge center lines. Output feature class, we're going to call this. So I like to keep names somewhat consistent so I know what I'm dealing with. And I put this one in the main database because this is kind of an important file. And these are going to be called bridge buffers. That's what I call these. And now on the distance, we don't want to do just a flat linear distance. We want to use a field. This is why we estimate the width and updated the buffer distance field. And that's what we're going to use as the field to buffer it by. So it'll buffer by 1 meter for the small ones and 2 meters for larger ones. And you shouldn't need anything else here. No dissolve fields, because you're just buffering a single line, and they're all single lines. So this should be good. And this should be a 1 meter buffer. It says buffer distance of 1, 2, but you know, if you want to check it, 1 meter was the measurement. So now you have, and one thing to do too is check the table. Make sure you have the same amount of records, 990, right? You shouldn't have less, you shouldn't have more. We have 990 bridges, we have 999 bridge polygons, 990 center lines, 990 bridge polygons. Now we have 990 bridge buffers. And if we did the station lines for segmentation, which we did in a previous video, if I were to summarize this, this should also equal 990. So I'll just throw this in a junk just to show you. This should equal 990. But it's not. So we're missing some. Oh, it shouldn't equal 990 because some of these building skyways are small. This doesn't necessarily mean anything. So I'll show you how to check to make sure we have enough station lines in the end. So so here we go. We have the station lines for segmentation. We have the bridge center lines are ready to go. The bridge buffers and the bridge polygons. And these 3 files are what we're going to use to go ahead and start the segmentation in Global Mapper. So this basically ends the video about how to create the bridge buffers, which are eventually going to be used as the polygon file for the buffer segments for analysis.